Hey, how's it going, everybody? Strider's back with another daily high ELO casting. And today, of course, we have InvertedComposer playing the Augmented Singed. That was one of the main reasons for this game. A lot of people request it. InvertedComposer is really difficult to get a hold of. He alienates himself completely from the community. Which is kind of depressing because he's really talented and he seems like a really fun guy. But anyway. So this will be a very interesting match. On the red team, we have a double AP comp going on, and for the blue team, there's not really much of any AP going on besides their AP tanks and a little bit of AP from their support. I guess pretty much all of them are hybrid, except for Pantheon. I'm pretty sure Pantheon's all... Oh, no, except for... Okay, I lied. So... his stun and his Grand Skyfall. So anytime Pantheon jumps on you, he does magic damage. Not a whole bunch. Corki does a little bit, Amumu does quite a bit, and Singe does a little bit. Quite a bit. And then Janna. So blue team is very well rounded as far as the damage. They're not going to simply burst somebody down. They don't have that kind, but they have quite a bit of tanks and a little bit of CC in order to finish it off with the double armor reduction from Corki and Pantheon, which is his Heartseeker Strike from Pantheon and the Gatling Gun from Corki. It'll do AoE armor reduction, which is going to be very useful. And Singed getting caught out in the jungle almost goes down, but does get away successfully. He puts that ward in that... No, he doesn't. He puts nothing in nothing and goes nowhere and almost dies. I lied. He didn't actually have a ward. So Singed was going Rambo in the jungle, it seems. Not exactly sure what he was trying to accomplish. I think he was probably just checking the red buff, seeing where Lee Sin was starting. Although it's pretty common for him to start at red buff. Annie actually leveling up her Incinerate first, which means that she does have a fully charged stun ready to go. So if they were planning on invading, she would have had a guaranteed AoE stun, which is so powerful. One of the main reasons you don't want to initiate on Annie. And it looks like Singe is checking just a little bit more, trying to delay as much as he can, but he's not going to really be able to do anything once he saw Annie with her stun and a rumble there as well. It's just too much damage this early on in the game. And Leona and Ezreal just kind of hanging out. They did end up taking a little bit of damage. I think that might have been from the Wraith. I didn't quite see exactly what was going on, but they might have taken the big Wraith. That's kind of what it looked like. And now everybody's back in their lanes and they're ready to start farming. Corki's actually relatively low from trying to get that golem. And Singe's Rumble's coming in. I'm surprised Rumble didn't throw out his electromagnetic harpoons. Yeah. So it's just going to pretty much be a farm lane. Lee Sin's coming up for the level 2 gank already. Gets the Sonic Wave with... Oh, yes. Not going to be good enough. He did have to use his Ghost to get out of that. Unfortunately for Singed, he's going to be pretty low. The electromagnetic harpoons were not quite fast enough to catch up. But Lee Sin is still here. He's ready for the Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike. Getting out the Tempest and the Cripple and the... Oh, and the Flash coming out from Rumble. Not a good choice. But let's see. Annie's going dangerously close down, and I missed the first blood. So it looks like, yeah, so this is where the double electromagnetic harpoon comes out. Singe is really low. He has health potions. Annie goes really low in mid. And now Lee Sin flashes, gets the kill from the Flash and the Sonic Wave with Resonating Strike. Great job by Singe, just camping that... Great job by Lee Sin. Sorry, camping that Singe. Singe tried to be safe. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough. And Pantheon's skin, this skin looks huge. And Lee Sin's doing a lot of damage. Still a lot of action going down bottom. And, oh, very unfortunate. The Flash and Bandage shots from Amumu going out, trying to do some damage. Pantheon gets the kill onto the Annie. It's reverse for that. Pantheon gets stunned by Annie, and then he gets incinerated. He's gonna do as much damage as he can. Throws and flashes. Oh, cross away from Lee Sin, trying to dodge the Sonic Wave, but it didn't matter because he didn't use it. Excellent job by Lee Sin. He's showing his lane presence very early on in this game. He still hasn't even picked up blue buff, and his red buff is gone. So we might end up just going directly to blue buff, giving it right to Annie. It would not surprise me. Now Lee Sin is going against Rumble head-on right now. Rumble now gets 2 electromagnetic harpoons, has the flame spitter going on. He is able to pick up this kill. He gets exhausted. Singe is going to be able to get away just in time. Great job. And now Janna's getting caught out by Lee Sin. She exhausts him. She pops her shield, and now she's going to try to flash away. Gets hit with the Sonic Wave, the Resonating Strike coming out, and now with the Heartseeker Strike still not coming out, Lee Sin is going to be able to safeguard possibly, but he might end up going down. Yes, he does go down, but bottom lane is coming out. Corki gets caught out of position, gets destroyed by the burst from Annie, and now Leona goes down from the Pantheon. Pantheon picking up some extra damage, and now Ezreal having those double buffs, taking it barely away from Amumu. Amumu tried to stun him, but it looks like he took a little bit of damage from Ezreal while he did that. Might have been an Ignite that I did not quite see. Yeah, it was the Ignite. So great initiation. The red team did come out a little bit on top of that exchange, mainly because Ezreal got a kill and double buffs, which means bottom lane is going to be snowballing incredibly hard at this point in time, since he does have a kill, 2 assists, 23 creep kills. He's ahead by 1, although Corki also has 1. 1 kill, 1 assist, and a lot of damage coming out on a Singed again, and he doesn't seem to really care. He doesn't have his Ghost or Exhaust right now, so I'm not sure. He just kind of turns around, goes in. The electromagnetic harpoons are not going to come out because he did go into the overheating stage, which prevents him from casting anything for 8 seconds, but increases his attack damage. So I think that might have been a little bit of an overzealousness by the Rumble, because if you waited a little bit for his overheating gauge to go down just a tad bit, he would have been able to get off those electromagnetic harpoons and possibly catch up to the Singe to get the kill. Lee Sin was pinging for Annie to get that blue buff, but he decided not to. Looks like Annie's going down really low again from the Pantheon. She's going to have to recall. Pantheon doesn't even have his Brutalizer yet, and Annie has not leveled up her Molten Shield either. So that's very interesting. Since Pantheon does have so much harass, I'm not sure the Molten Shield would really do too much, since kind of activate it, and it's a really long cooldown. Doesn't last for, well, it lasts for a decent amount of time, but it's not, 30-second buff or whatever. But it's a really high cooldown, which makes it a little bit disappointing in the end. It's on a 15-second cooldown, lasts for 8 seconds. So it lasts for a majority of the cooldown, but you still have that 12 seconds where you can get easily harassed. So Pantheon's doing as much as he can, gets a little initiated onto. Looks like Singe is taking again a lot more damage away from that Rumble. And Rumble is just taking control of this top lane. Rumble's level 6 and Singe is level 4. So great job by Rumble being able to take out, apply as much pressure as he is, spamming all of his abilities, preventing Singe from even getting creep kills, just zoning him away completely from that. And now, let's see what happened here. A lot of damage going on bottom. Blue team does have a ward in that bush, and the tornado from Janna comes out, and then the banish toss from Amumu. Amumu does provide that free kill for the Corki, and Corki's coming out from the back. He's going to be able to do as much damage as he can. His banish toss is going to come out onto the tower. The Zephyr goes down to slow him down, and the pop-up with the couple of last auto attacks from Corki, and they all get out of there safe and sound with no backup from bottom. But Lee Sin, in the meantime, is taking that blue buff from their team. Although I see that he has blue buff, I just don't see the animation. So Lee Sin has blue buff, you just don't know it yet. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. Let's see if we can get back to life here. Bottom lane will go back, and looks like a lot of damage is coming out onto the Pantheon. Pantheon does decide to back off. Lee Sin is able to get out of there safe and sound. I have a feeling they're going to go for Dragon here pretty soon. Lee Sin is very farmed up right now. He does have a Wriggles Lantern. He's going to be able to almost solo that. And now a lot of damage actually going down. Let's see if we can get that. Yes, the Flame Spitter with the electromagnetic harpoon. He misses the second one, hits the first one. Now Singe is going to be healing. And with the overheat, Singe is going to exhaust him, throw him into the tower, and possibly get him away. And with the ultimate coming out from Rumble, Rumble does not hit him with that second electromagnetic harpoon. And Singe still so tanky from his ultimate, getting so much health per second. Going to be able to take out that Rumble with pretty much no problems. Now bottom lane, looks like it's still going to be a little bit of a farm fest, but Ezreal's getting a lot of poke, a lot of damage coming out from Pantheon. Pantheon gets instantly Timber stunned from Annie, and Annie's going in real hard, and a great job getting that kill, and then getting the double kill with the help of Lee Sin and his flash. Phenomenal play by the red team, being able to pick that up when it was looking like a bad situation. And now Lee Sin's coming from the back. He is a little bit behind. He's going to possibly take tower aggro if he starts attacking. The first person to attack is going to be the Leona. And now that Ezreal's behind the tower, he's going to be able to get that kill. And then the safeguard coming out from Lee Sin, so he gets out of tower range. And the Flash Zephyr coming out from Janna. Janna's going to do as much as she can to stay alive. Pantheon with the man drop coming out. And then the resonating strike. Oh, and a great bandage toss coming out from that Amumu. I can't believe he landed that bandage toss. It was right after the flash. Perfectly landed. Great job by the blue team being able to come back from that horrible exchange that happened in mid. And Singed is now finally getting his mojo. He's level 8. He's finally tied with Singed, or with Rumble. He was 2 levels behind, so I'm kind of surprised that Rumble let him get back up that far. He is still behind in CS by about 20 or 30, which is still huge. But Rumble going out with his ult, and he's doing as much damage as he can. Rumble's still going down pretty quickly. He goes into overheating stage. He has his Hextech Revolver, so he's going to be able to heal off all of his spells pretty easily. And that's very important with Rumble, is to be able to heal. He has so many spammable spells. There's almost never a time that he doesn't either have a spell active or a spell off of cooldown. Since he has so much sustained damage with this Flame Spitter, he can get so much health back from that. And the fact that he also has his spammable Scrap Shield, which again is just his shield, and the Electromagnetic Harpoon doing a little bit more, and Rumble's almost back up to full just because of that Hextech Revolver. And he's getting pinged out by the blue team, gets stunned on by the Pantheon. The bandage toss actually missing, which is really surprising because it looked like it was going to hit. The Timberstone going down on Pantheon. Pantheon might come back in for the kill. The Zephyr coming out from Janna, and oh my gosh, Amumu almost dies. Lee Sin's going to play it safe and not quite go in. Great play by Lee Sin. It looks like he was going to go and gank top. But it looks like he had to reinforce middle, and it was a little bit more important. By the time he made it down there, it was just a little bit too late. I don't think I like that decision. And the tower dive now coming out from Lee Sin, but he gets stunned onto the tower with the ignite. He is able to safeguard 2 million and get out with no problems at all. But Pantheon is really close to losing his mid tower, and that's not going to be good. And now Leona is putting a lot of pressure onto this bottom tower. Ezreal taking some damage from the tower, but not too much. She does have some health potions going with a mana potion as well. And Pantheon going down from the dive. Let's see how this happens. The only thing he has is Wriggles, so he's going to throw it over the wall and safeguard to it. Yes, throw it over the wall, safeguard, Sonic, and with the resonating strike with the follow-up. Perfect play by that Lee Sin. Being able to pick up that kill, being able to tower dive and be able to do it with the most of ease and great skill at the same time. So, at this point, blue team's like, oh my god, Lee Sin's behind us. They can tower dive us at this point. They don't want to mess around with it at this point, and a red team is pressuring. They know that there's a danger of that Lee Sin, even though Lee Sin actually recalled. So they're going to back off. They just wanted to apply the pressure, prevent them from getting any last hits, even though it was only 2 or 3. It still provides them with that little bit of the advantage. And Ezreal's actually had 20 creep kills at 13 minutes in the game, which is significant for sure. And now a lot of damage going on. Lee Sin's taking a lot of... Lee Sin's going after the blue buff, trying to steal it, but blue team is pinging off Lee Sin like a madman, and Lee Sin ends up taking it, and now Annie's coming out from the back, and Lee Sin is just going to safeguard to the Annie and get away, and now the flash from the Amumu comes out, but it's not going to be enough. And now bottom, I really want to see that double kill. Oh gosh. Okay. So let's see how this happens. I remember the tornado coming out, just barely hitting him, but then the missile drops, and the man drop coming out with the exhaust coming out from Ezreal. Ezreal takes a ton of damage, dies almost instantly. Janna's getting away with almost no health. She gets away with only 20 health left. A great double kill by the Corki. And again, there's Amumu running off with just a little bit of health, but a wasted flash at the same time. And now Singed is going to go down. The ultimate from Rumble coming out, and so many slows from the red team right now. The electromagnetic harpoons are going to be able to land, and it looks like he's going to go down from Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike with the safeguard to get away. No problems. Very well executed by the Lee Sin. He's taking this game by storm, and he's not letting up at all. And Annie coming out from the back. The Amumu stuns just to get as much damage as he can in there, and again with the Sonic Wave, but Annie's actually able to pick up that kill in the very end. And it looks like top tower will go down at this point on the blue team side to the Annie and her creeps. Maybe not, she might not take it quite yet. Yeah, she's just going to recall. It does go down just barely. She's able to get out of there just fine. And now Sinch is running away from Rumble. Rumble's just going to be loading as much damage as it can. Front loaded, and a great stun coming out from the Leona. Leona gets the solar flare on, and the Ezreal. And a great flash coming out from Corki, just barely avoiding it. And now with the bandage toss, and Amumu is going to go down from the Sonic Wave and the Resonating Strike. And it looks like Pantheon's coming out for the backup, and the great. Oh my gosh, his Sonic Waves are just on the ball today. And now Andy's coming in, and another Sonic Wave coming out from the Lee Sin. Lee Sin's just all over the place. Corki doing as much damage as can be. Gets cut out of position. The Zenith Blade comes out. Is able to land that and stun him in for just a second. And also giving her the kill. Red team is definitely taking control of this match. I'm not sure how blue team is going to be able to handle that. They really need to group up, because at this point, it's just running away from them. It's getting to the point where they can't catch up. And the fling coming out from Singe with a lot of poison damage coming out, but he does get safeguarded, and Janna is going down really, really low, and Singe is just going to try to run away with as much poison as he can. Fling out the... and the Rumble's now coming back to the bottom lane, throwing down this ult, picking up a free kill and a free assist, and oh wow, a lot of damage coming out. Amumu gets the bandage toss just barely, and now gets the ultimate, and she gets the last spell off onto the Corki, taking him down just barely. But the red team is so dangerously low, I'm not sure if this is going to be the best move for them. Rumble's at full, so he's going to be able to face tank a little bit of this. Luckily, the Pantheon does able to juke both of those harpoons. And at this point, I would expect red to recall, buy some items, and then go directly for dragon once it respawns. Overall, great game so far. Red team's showing their dominance in the later games. They do have a lot of stronger late game champions like Rumble, Leona's AoE ultimate. Of course, Annie's always been a really strong late game if you can make it that far. But her AoE Timber stun, and then the AoE stun from the solar flare from Leona. It's going to be really, really dangerous if Leona can get 2 or 3 people in the Timber stun. Same with Annie. Annie's stun is instant, so that's going to be a lot easier for the solar flare to get off the full duration. Or instead of a slow, it gets a stun. But in that whole entire scenario that I just made up, Rumble can have the ultimate downlit on top of them, so blue team is definitely going to need to build some magic resist for sure, and possibly even Merc Treads. I see that Pantheon has already purchased Merc Treads on their team, and it looks like he's the only one so far. I would also expect Singe to do it, even though he gets the passive reduction. And a great initiation! The Zenith Blade coming out from Leona, being able to stun her, and now the Timber stun going down. Amumu is going down very, very close to dead. The last Egg of Ignite's gonna be able to pick him up. Janna barely survives. Leona decides to back off and just throw down the solar flare on the other people, being Corki and Amumu. And a great Zenith Blade bringing her outside the fight, but Singed goes down anyway. It's been a long time since blue team has gotten a kill, and they really need to bring it back in this fight. It looks like there might be a disconnect between the team right now. Janna's trying to hold off the tower as much as she can. Just gonna try to get a Zephyr down and slow them, but the Phage proc from Ezreal's Trinity Force is going to be able to slow her down enough to where she's not going to be able to do anything anyway. And that's one of the most powerful things about Ezreal, is that his Mystic Shot procs that Phage or the Trinity Force slow, so that he has a relatively, you know, it's not the highest chance, but it's a 25% chance to slow the target by 35%. Which is still really good, because Ezreal can get off 2 Mystic Shots and 2 auto attacks in a relatively short period of time, and so it's not really big of an issue. You're gonna almost guaranteed be slow. And he's just gonna be able to follow up with a ton of damage. And that's what makes him incredibly strong. Plus he has that high mobility as a gap closer, as well as a disengage, which is also good. Including his global AoE. Like, I guess I would say it's more of a farming tool than anything else, because that's really what he uses it for a majority of the time. He will use it in team fights eventually, but a lot of times it's actually more of a DPS decrease unless he's out of the fight with really low health, and he just needs to throw down his ultimate to get that little bit of extra damage his team needs. And the Singe going down. The Rumble has Aurelius being able to slow down the Singe by quite a bit. Now Singe just running around, doing whatever he can, and it goes down almost instantly to the red team, but that does give blue team the dragon, which is probably a great trade, since Singe's already died 4 times. It's not, but then again at the same time, red team noticed, and now they're going to go for Baron. With Ezreal's Essence Flux, he's going to increase the attack speed of everybody on his team, which helps out so much. It helps out with Baron so much. And Pantheon's coming out, the Zenith Blade coming out with P, and then the stun going out onto the Rumble, but he goes down almost instantly, and now the Ignite going down onto Leona, but doesn't quite kill her. The Annie is trying to follow up, and Corki is just getting absolutely eviscerated by this Ezreal, and Ezreal's gonna try to get back into the fight. Janna's gonna get stunned by the Annie and then get picked up by the Lee Sin. Phenomenal job by the red team. It looks like blue team wasn't quite ready for that initiate, even though the Pantheon was ready to jump. Singe still doesn't quite have enough that he needs. He doesn't have all the defenses. He's going to go down pretty quickly. Yes, the auto attack from Annie, the little flame ball, is going to be able to do it. And Lee Sin's just messing around with this Amumu at the moment, doing as much damage as he can. Just kind of doing whatever. Yeah, it looks like they're just messing around at this point. They are probably going to surrender. Singed actually picks up the kill on Rumble, which I didn't see. Yes, Rumble is taking the tower, and he goes down to the tower, and he does have poison on, or he did have poison on recent enough for him to get picked up and giving the gold to Rumble, or giving the gold to Singe. And Amumu's so close. Amumu's at 48 health, and he gets absolutely destroyed by 2 skill shots at the same time. There's absolutely no getting away from that. Lee Sin does have a killing spree, and they just noticed that they got their dragon taken, and so they probably think that while he's messing around with the Amumu the whole time, their dragon was getting taken. Which wasn't the case, but even still. Lee Sin tries to go for the red steal, but doesn't actually go in because the red was gone, and now he gets Sonic Wave Resonating Strike coming in. He's gonna be able to smite that big Wraith and just walk away happily with that extra little bit of gold, extra little bit of experience, and also preventing them from doing the same thing. Leona's going in, she gets initiated on by the, oh my gosh, Pantheon just jumps on her immediately, gets a Heartseeker Strike, reducing her armor to really, really low amounts, and then their whole team just converging on her, being able to pick up the kill. And this is exactly what the blue team needs to do. They need to keep doing this. But landing that Sonic Wave onto the Corki is not what they want. They need the Corki to stay alive. Corki needs to do as much damage as it can. And now Amumu needs to go in there, be able to do his Curse of the Mummy. But it's not up for a little bit, so they are going to back off. Wait for that cooldown to come up, and then they might possibly either start the fight, especially with Leona down. But since by the time Amumu's ult is back up, Leona will probably be back in the fighting area, the general fighting vicinity. And Singe is kind of, hanging around, still farming, doing his Singe thing, what Singes normally do, which is pretty normal, but it's very unfortunate that you just got shut down so early game. That Lee Sin was so aggressive, doing 3 back-to-back ganks without going anywhere in the jungle, and I believe Singed was probably extremely pissed off about that. Dragon Kick coming out from Singed, or the Dragon Kick coming out onto Singed, and now with the Sonic Wave and possibly follow-up, but I don't believe he will. The poison is just proving to be too terrifying, and a lot of damage. There's a great Zenith Blade coming out on Leona. Leona's going to go for, yes, the Rumble, boost down his ult, being able to pick that up, and a great Soul Flare hitting out the Janna as well as the Amumu, and now the Lee Sin takes down, but Lee Sin might go down. Yes, Lee Sin does go down from the towers. Great job, Pantheon's able to shut that down, give them a little bit of extra gold, or give him a little bit of extra gold. That's exactly what he needs at this point in time. He's only 4 and 6, he could definitely use some more kills, as well as some more money. He has a Maw of Malmortius, actually, which is kind of surprising. He does need that magic resist, so it's not completely outlandish or anything, but Pantheon doesn't typically build health, and so his attack damage increasing based on the amount of health he has probably isn't going to be very relevant, as once he gets low health, he's not going to be alive for very long anyway. And the man drop coming out from Pantheon. I don't know how this is going to go. He's going to get stunned instantly from the Annie, and now he's going to do so much damage. Heartstreaker Strike coming out, and now, oh my gosh, he actually survives for quite a bit, and the exhaust coming out on both supports. Can you believe it? It's a exhaust support. Oh, and the electromagnetic harpoons. Let's take him out, and the great bandage shots coming out from Amumu with the tantrum, and now Annie's trying to run away from her life, and so is Leona. I'm not sure if either teams are going to be able to fight this. I'm going to be very scared for Annie. Lee Sin's coming out from the back. Singed has ult, and oh, and a great job! The Zenith Blade coming out from the back, trying to prevent the kill going on to Corki. Corki actually ends up picking up the double kill instead. And the exhaust now going on to Lee Sin. Lee Sin safeguarding to that ward, unknowingly into 2 other members of the blue team. The bandage toss, he actually Dragon Kicks Corki back, and knocks up at the bandage toss, so it doesn't put a move right next to him. And the safeguard, as well as the proc from the Maw of Malmortius, giving him that extra spell shield. It looks like he's going to end up going down. And a great fling into that tantrum. Absolutely perfect. And the ultimate coming out from Ezreal. Ezreal going down almost instantly. And it looks like blue team is making a comeback. Can you believe it? The biggest comeback in the history. Well, not going to be the biggest. They're only 8k gold behind now. They're still quite a bit behind, though. They need a lot of work to do. Corki is the most fed on their team, and that is a huge benefit, though. If they actually decide to take this game seriously again, I honestly think they kind of just are messing around at this point. But if they do end up saying, oh, hey, we could probably actually win this, it's very possible that they can, because Corki is so farmed. Yeah, he's died a lot, but he also has a ton of kills. Having 9 kills on an AD carry is monstrous. 15 assists on Ezreal, that's still, pretty good. It's going to do some damage. But he opted for the Trinity Force, which is going to do more burst and poke damage, but it's not going to do as much sustain damage. With the blue team having that Amumu and the Singed, which are 2 hyper tanks, I'm not sure how much of an idea that was. And now Annie's coming out. Oh, she gets smashed in the face with a big rocket coming out from Corki. Now Corki is just hanging out in this bush, being a little bit cocky. If Annie flashes out and does a stun, he's probably going to die almost instantly. But as long as they delayed or prevented the Baron from being taken, that's really what the blue team wants to do. They want to be able to pick out somebody, possibly 1 or 2 people, and then prevent Baron for as long as possible. Try to get back in the game, minimize the gold deficit, and then possibly start a fight at that point. Pantheon is now possibly getting ready for a man drop. There's a lot of action going in a Baron, but Annie going in, destroying the Corki, and now the Rumble with the fantastic ultimate, getting out almost that entire part of the jungle, and now Pantheon going in for the stun, but Janna ults, getting him away, and then she flashes around, and he's not going to be able to do anything. Ezreal flashes, and it looks like he's going right after the Janna. Janna also flashes, tries to get away. She's going to Zephyr, slow him down a little bit, but it's not going to be even close to enough. Ezreal's just so powerful at this point in time. So fed with that blue buff and the red buff. And he's going to
take out a couple minions from the bottom wave, try to push that bottom lane, get another tower if they need to, and again, the attack speed buff coming out from Ezreal is just so monstrous at times that it really helps with taking towers, inhibitors. I mean, look how fast it's going down. This is from majority AP auto attackers. Oh, and a lot of damage coming out from Ezreal once again, and the Amumu is getting cut out almost instantly exhausted, and then he flashes, but he gets hit by the Sonic Wave, and now Lee Sin gets stunned by the Pantheon, and now Pantheon's on Ezreal's tail. Same with the Corki. I don't know why they're so slow with the Janna on their team. That Tailwind passive didn't seem to really be doing much. It's very unfortunate, but Ezreal's actually moving really fast. Ezreal doesn't even have a Zeal yet, so I don't really understand how that was 100% possible, but it's kind of, you know, whatever works, it happens. The red team does have a lot of slows. Blue team is coming out. They are going to try to initiate the Solar Flare, coming out, stunning nobody, and the Ezreal is going down, and so is the Leona, but very unfortunate for Corki. He's unable to pick up the other two or three that were there. Oh man, I was really hoping he was going to be able to take out either the Rumble or the Lee Sin, and now Amumu comes in, does throw down his ultimate. He's going face-to-face against 3 people. He's definitely going to drop, and it's going to be really fast. Going against the 2 most fed people in the game, being Annie and Lee Sin, you're not going to have a good time, especially if you're just trying to tank the damage by yourself with no follow-up. So red team is now going on to the Nexus towers. Janna's going to shield it just for funsies. And now with the Nexus on its way of going down, I believe this might be GG finally. Once and for all, the man drop coming down from Pantheon. He's going to get the stun. Going to do his Heartseeker Strike as much as possible, but he does get stunned out of that. They're able to take out the Nexus. Great job by the red team, just being able to grab that lead and keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Absolutely phenomenal teamwork and great overall job. That Lee Sin was just an absolute monster. You can't deny that. So, great job by the red team. Congratulations, and GG to the blue team for picking up a great fight, as well as just doing everything. But yeah, if you guys like my videos, make sure to press that like button, press that subscribe button. It really does help. It helps me be able to do more raffles, giving out RP. If you guys need anything, or if there's anything you would like to see changed or a little bit different, please feel free to let me know, and I will do that. And make sure you also recommend or suggest, a champion or a player that you want to see. I will add it to the list as long as you have requested a champion or a player that you want to see and kind of help the community grow a little bit. You will be entered in automatically for the raffle. So make sure you have a YouTube account so I can IM you if you win. But yeah, thanks guys, and I will see you tomorrow.